I'm delighted to be here with Simona Potecu, VP of Marketing for Tuborg, Romania. Now, by title, she leads one of the most iconic beer brands in the region. But beyond the title, Simona is someone who's been nurturing both brands and people throughout her career, from Knorr to chocolate and coffee, and now beer. Simona, welcome.
Thank you very much, Mary. Really nice to be with you. Really looking for very exciting moment for me. I think I mentioned when we first met that I'm actually the one that is reading these typical pills from CMOs, and I really enjoy it because it's a lot of learning and the sharing of lots of knowledge that I totally appreciate there. So
Music.
very much looking forward.
Oh, that's wonderful. Music to our ears. Thank you very much for your kind words. And the pleasure is all mine. Now, I wanted to ask you about managing an international brand locally, and that comes with its own set of challenges, right? Because Tuborg is a global name, but Romania obviously is a unique market. How do you strike that balance, bringing in local relevance while staying true to the brand's global DNA? How do you adapt to resonate with the masses here?
That's quite interesting, actually. And it's actually everything that we do every day, because indeed, Tuborg, it's a global icon and it's very clear DNA on its own. Yeah, it's really about the youth, it's about the music, it's about the energy, good vibes and friends, everything that this brand owns from its Danish origin. But, the youth are actually, yes, enjoying themselves in Denmark, a little bit different than in Romania. Definitely quite a lot of similarities, but also some differences. Therefore, for us, everything starts with a very powerful local insight, where we look at what does it mean for Romanians, for the young Romanians to enjoy music, and how would the brand be relevant within this, basically, yeah. And then we understood that, yes, we talk about a very big kind of a music market that we have with a lot of pop culture there. So we have chosen a very relevant ambassador, local ambassador, for that into bringing it into our DNA, because it has the same vibe, the same style, the same tone, and the same manner. Very relevant for us. And so we make it relevant, we make it meaningful as well, because we not only, let's say, we have this ambassador, but we also co-create things with the ambassador in such a way that it becomes culturally very, very relevant. Her name is Irina Rimes. If you search her, you will see her. She's actually one of the top players in Romania, hopefully very soon also international as well. Even more, we go where the consumer is in a very relevant way for the local market. We know that in Romania there is a big trap culture, because the youth and the young generation really likes to express themselves through the words, through the style, through everything that the trap means. So we actually sponsor the biggest festival of trap music in Romania, but not only Romanian. It's actually the South Central Europe Festival, Beach Please it's called. So it's a big invite to all of you. Please come to Beach Please, because it's really fantastic. It's not only a festival, it's really a big youth gathering. It's really changing the way they do music and they talk and they interact. And there, it's not only about partnership, it's about co-creating experiences. We are doing a lot of experience management there, so that they feel Tuborg is 100% embedded in their way of living, basically. So in a very relevant local way. And also what we do, keeping very true to the core of the brand DNA, the Danish core of the DNA, we actually add the local language to it, yeah. If I would have to think of the Danish way of being humorous, because Tuborg is a humorous brand as well, would be a little bit more minimalistic, yeah, a little bit more, maybe sarcastic, a little bit in a nice way. But in Romania, we are not like this. We are Latins, we are very loud, we like to shout, to talk a lot, our hands are always working, we talk with our hands. So the tone and the manner we talk with Tuborg, through Tuborg in Romania, it's exactly on the local way. It's not necessarily the Danish way, but saying the same things as the Danes say, but in a very relevant local way, definitely there. The point is, we don't change the core promise. It is there. The core promise stays, but the manner we do it, we make it in such a way that it's meaningful. That's the first check for the local market. It's really distinctive. That's the second check. And we have enough salience for the consumer to really choose us when it's the proper moment. So it's actually a very interesting roadmap to have a global brand because you have the global power and to be able to translate it for a consumer in the local language that gives you the local relevance. And it's so powerful both together.
Yes, and you know what? It sounds like a lot of fun. Thank you very much for the invite. I'll take you up on that. I want you to know that. Now, I wanted to ask you, in our diary of our CMO report, we found that pricing ranks surprisingly low in marketers' priority lists, despite the fact that strong brand equity directly reduces price sensitivity. So, Simona, my question to you is that in a category that's often seen as commoditized, how do you build a brand that can command a premium? I mean, what does it take to earn that kind of pricing power?
Yeah, it's actually a very, very strong question, this one, because to be honest, in my case, in our case, in beer in Romania, the market is bloody competitive. Yeah, we talk about at least 20 brands that are active in the same time. Great brands, by the way, big competitors overall. And pricing, it's always, one element that you cannot not be very sharp on. Saying that, it's also very easy to slip into pricing as commodity. So what we do, we really, really actively protect our brand value. Really, we try to do this across the consumer journey. If you want elements, touch points, and we know on one way we know that liquid is important when we talk about beer. Beer needs to be qualitative. It has to have the crispiness. It has to have the whatever easiness to drink. But people do not choose this only against that because in a market like ours, anytime you will have 2, 3, 4 competitors, good quality that are in promo. So how do you choose? Well, actually, you choose against how much you identify yourself with that brand, basically. So that's the brand value that we always work on and we do not let go. Saying that, I'm not saying we are not playing a pricing game. We need to. It's the market. You have the customers. You need to be there. But the balance of things in between constantly building on the brand value and playing the pricing game, it's very, very important. And how you do it, how low you go, what are your interests there, how do you play portfolio pricing? That's also something very, very important that we really, really take care. And the way we build value is what we discussed in our, let's say, previous point. It has to be culturally relevant. Yeah. Because, again, you can bring value, but then if it's not relevant, therefore not meaningful. And we know that actually meaningfulness is the first element that drives the brand value. You will not probably succeed definitely there. That's why when we say we go to festivals, we don't go to festivals to sell beer. Of course, we sell beer. Yes, that's obvious. But we go there to create emotions, to create experience that will leverage our brand value up, that will allow us to put a stronger pricing power to the brand. Because this is where you create memories. This is where you create engagement. This is where you create a bond that will probably keep on as you grow through your life stages, and in such a way you keep your brand relevant. And it's not easy because you really need to always reinvent yourself. You need to invest. It's not an easy game there. You really need to invest to the proper level while you balance the other part that I said, because you still need to play the pricing game here and there. So it's a continuous sort of invest in general. But the emotional connection is the one that drives in the end even the pricing decision. So this is where we need to be. And we know, and with your help, with Kantar help, we know exactly what is our pricing power and how do we use that in negotiation with customers, and where is it that we do not compromise, not to get lower or not to harm in any way our pricing value. So it's a lot for a brand manager, but it's very, very important.
Very important and very doable with the right tools.
Yes.
Now,
yeah.
Now, engaging the next generation, especially Gen Z, is not optional, right? It's essential if we want to stay vibrant
Yeah.
and relevant. Now, as you told us before, Tuborg has leaned into music and emotional storytelling to achieve this. But how do you continue to pull in the youth while still predisposing all generations to choose your brand?
Yeah, yeah. That's a question that many big brands have. It's on the table of all the CMOs, VPs, marketing leads, and honestly, also for me as a mother, it's sometimes I wonder how do I keep this, working
Yes.
for my whatever young adult kids there. I think for Tuborg, to be honest, the answer is in a way pretty simple, but also
Mhm.
very complex. It is layered. Yeah, that's the way I look at it, Mary. In the sense of I'm very clear where my lead audience is, and my lead audience is the young consumer. It's the brand that wants to recruit into beer. We talk about first steps into this category. This is my brand, and this is why we position Tuborg as a fun social beer for this type of lifestyle beer. And with this, we do what we discuss. We do festivals, we do arena rimes, we are doing a lot of limited editions, things that will make them stick with us and keep them interest in us, basically, in a co-creative experience way, which is, again, very important for this generation. Millennials, Gen Z, is not only offering them this, for them it's very important to be part of the decision as well. Saying
Yes.
that, our core consumer needs to be what I call it locked in. They need to be happy with us further on, definitely. They are doing a lot of volumes and they are very important and they grew with us, by the way. They were also young generation when they started with this brand, basically. And we know that for them, it's very important to be very consistent. Yeah. So when you say good quality product, you need to be there. You don't need to have any type of compromise on this, for sure. Definitely there. You need to be present with the right price, right size portfolio for them because they are more broad in the way they choose versus the young consumer.
Yeah.
You need to be present in shops very clearly there, yeah,
Mhm.
everywhere where they need to be. So the salience, the retail salience, so to speak, it's super, super important. And then you need to give them from time to time, I would say, also different reasons to buy you. I don't know, could be a consumer promo, could be something that will keep them into your franchise because they know you as qualitative, consistent, always offering something good and always present in
Yep.
their life brand, basically. So it is possible. Again, it's a bit of an effort because, yeah, you need to manage that. But the point is, we are not saying two different stories. We are saying the
Exactly.
same story for the young consumer and for the one that is a bit more mature. And yes, we talk about sociability. We are social when they are 18. We are also social when they are 35. And some of them will go to beach plays, and this is their way of doing festival. But some of them will do their festival in their living room. That's also fine. And actually, this is all about Tuborg, And in this manner, we are very consistent with different generations, different ages, but we also talk on different needs as you grow in your life stages further. So it is possible. It's also about innovation, basically. One thing that is very interesting also for Tuborg, I give you an example. We have a product that is called Christmas Brew. Christmas Brew, it's a very specific Christmas, as it's called, beer. And it's a limited edition that comes in a very specific time of the year, in November to December. And it has, actually, it's a fantastic generation bridge because for the
Mhm.
young consumer, they are very into the Christmas brew because they look at it as something special, limited, and they are always into the launch moment. Okay, because that launch moment means Christmas holidays are starting
Mhm.
basically for them. So that's the tick that they want. But for the more mature consumer, Christmas brew is about togetherness. It's about bringing the family into the table and having all loved ones. So it's a perfect bridge. It talks about the same thing in the end, but for different needs and for different type of consumer. So it is possible. You just need to watch out that you really keep this consistency through the brand, and you know how to activate and when, so that you
Yeah.
build on and not despair, basically.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's so great to hear how a brand like yours, Tuborg, is navigating the balance between global and local, value and premium, tradition and innovation across the different generations. So I want to thank you a lot for joining me today, Simona, and I want to wish you continued success in keeping Tuborg top of mind and top of shelf.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. And let's have a great summer because we sell beer.
Yes. Okay, let's drink to that then.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
Simona.
Cheers.
Bye.